솔라, 강민수, 스태치, 김대영, 큐어, 김도우. 아프리카 TV 브레이크아웃 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 1 코드 S 쇼다운.
Welcome back, everybody. Will we have a long series, or will the trend of super quick best of threes continue on? I hope not.
I can't imagine a super quick best of three between TY and Cure in TBT, right? It's impossible, right?
I think so.
Pretty sure.
These guys both tend to play longer games TBT.
Yeah.
You can do crazy short stuff, though, in a TBT as well.
You can.
I think it's less likely to succeed compared to Terran proxying and other matchups, but
yeah.
I don't know. Let's see.
What if TY just makes 4 barracks and floats them all into Cure's base?
I don't know. He gets a new unlockable thing we never saw before in StarCraft 2.
Oh my god. Imagine if they flew faster, like if you could use the speed boost, he just flies over and takes the reactor of Cure before he can get it. That would be the ultimate tasteless. We need boosts on flying buildings.
We've talked about this. Like, you know how much it would change the game if you slowed down building fly time? Like viability of proxies and stuff like that. Game 1 will be on Eternal Empire. The winner of TY versus Cure moves on to the round of 8.
전투 준비 완료. 퍼포먼스로 앞서가다 LG 울트라 기어와 넘버원 에너지 드링크 핫식스가 이번 전투를 지원한다고. TY 전태양. 드래곤 피닉스 게이밍 큐어 김도우.
It's kind of a weird background sound when the name comes down. They're like, you know what we need here? Someone, okay, yeah, no, call me on a bad phone connection and have a hairdryer going. That's it. That's what we needed.
Yes!
Oh, 2 barracks from Cure. Very cool. Very cool. 2 barracks a Reaper is what this should end up being. I remember seeing this like a really long time ago. Like, I think you just gain an early advantage with this. Like, maybe their Reaper comes over and then you jump down. You're like, ha-ha, 2 Reapers! And then you kill it, and it's like, you can kind of control, maybe force a cancel on the command or something like that.
Yeah, let's see how the 2 builds interact with each other going into this.
That's what we do.
He's making an X, Hartosis. That's where the treasure's buried.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Now, these 2 players, I do think TY is still like a pretty clear favorite. But Cure, I really do feel, and I know this is something that's easy to say about many players, but I think it's more so true with him. He's improved every tournament. He's brought a little bit better play. He looks much more comfortable. Cure was a guy who was very dominant in a lot of online play, online ladder, online tournaments, but he's looking better and better in these GSLs.
Yeah.
I do feel like TY in some ways is like the ultimate StarCraft person.
Yeah.
You know, the ultimate opponent. I mean, he's had massive success at tournaments. He's been playing since he was as young as he can remember. He's very articulate about the game. He's casting it now here when he's not playing in the tournament. And if you just look at the way he handles the game, he knows how to prep. He seems to understand his race, his opponent's race, the map they're on, the matchup, the meta in general, but a lot of just how to counter exactly what they're going to do in their own prep, which is kind of terrifying.
Well, he's very smart. I think that is a natural course of things when you've been a pro gamer since you were like 12.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just kind of never stopped. It's like, well, the amount of information that you've absorbed at this point, this is really just the extension of your brain into the game through your hands.
Yeah.
You know? It's
he
like
just
both
knows
of your
how
hands,
RTS works.
Yeah, both of your hands are avatar tails, basically, and the keyboard and mouse are also avatar tails.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
I remember watching the Avatar movie in the theater, the part where they connected the tails. I just started laughing so hard. I'm like, of course they were going to do that.
Imagine the first gross Avatar aliens that connected their tails together tasteless.
Yeah, and they're like, I kind of like this. Do you like this?
By the way, this Reaper build didn't do very much. He made the Reapers, and TY just stayed in his base. So
Yeah.
TY has a quicker command and some quicker tech, but Kira trying to make up for that, going for a quicker third command.
Yeah, he'll try to balance this out by getting that set up there and then catching up economically. There's a slight lead here for TY, but nothing to write home about. We do have the Raven coming out a little bit earlier. Is this actually rallied towards the bottom?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's just rallied to his natural.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if he sends it like directly over for harass.
Just throws an auto turret down. Ha!
Maybe.
Nope, keeps it here.
Throws one down defensively here. I'm like, what? So second Raven on the way. Nothing too crazy going on, really. I mean, the fact that Kira opened 2 Barracks Reaper is interesting and neat. And I guess now TY kind of figures out, he's like, what are you doing with 3 Reapers there? But
Reapers are funny units because they don't have almost any utility past a certain point in the game.
yeah, very little unless you're Bjorn.
Most units are not like that. You know, yeah, Bjorn was a guy who I think really showed how good you can be with Reapers. He just was so excellent at controlling them, but
Yeah.
they're strong, they're nimble, but they actually just can't hold a fight against most anything else.
Yeah, they definitely just don't fulfill that role.
But I guess that makes sense. I mean, if they were strong, like they were in the early days before they were patched, I mean, units that can toss grenades and jump up hills and heal, it's like, okay.
Those auto turrets got so
Yeah.
much damage while he
That
was
was-
chasing the Hellions.
And he's even going to get 9
Oh my
kills.
god, that's insane damage.
Now that's unfortunate because you're not, you know, when you cast this, you're just trading in mana for worker kills. It's not
Yeah.
even like you had to, you know, send a Widow Mine in there and then you might have lost some medevac or the Widow Mine, but hey, at least you killed off some workers. And this is now, this is now forcing Cure to do something pretty drastic because otherwise Cure is just going to get further and further behind in this race. I mean, when you're in a macro game on 3 bases, you're both basically in a race.
Yeah.
And right now, TY's taking a massive lead. Now, this is spotted. Looks like Cure's going to try to come in here, and he does pick off the Raven. But, I mean, this sounds the alarms back at home. I mean, if I'm TY, I'm going to be ready to try to take this on in a
I think
fight.
you don't even mind. It's like, yeah, you lost a Raven, but now at least you know exactly where his army is and what he's trying to do. You know what's in his head.
Even losing the Raven had already paid for itself with that 1, or I guess 2 auto turrets that were thrown down there at the natural. Slowing the 3rd down from landing there. I mean, TY is playing a very good game.
Yeah. And he's got his 3rd actually on position about the same time as Kier, even though Kier got his more quickly. His upgrades are not too far behind. His stim obviously very, very far behind, but that's
Right.
all right because he's really been working on his Viking and tank count, which is more of a long-term play anyways. And with the amount of economic damage that he's done here, yeah, it seems to me like TY is just kind of ahead in all ways except for having stim completed.
Yeah. TY really just in control of this game. Now, it appears that Kier has decided this is going to be the moment. If he can do something, it better be now. He's moving up towards 12 o'clock, and he seems intent on trying to push this 3rd base. Now, if he tries to do a drop, it's going to be caught by those Vikings. But I don't know that he can actually push in here. We'll see. The Raven is oftentimes used as a disabler on the tanks to allow you to encroach territory you'd otherwise, it would be impossible to do so in. But there's a sensor tower here. And so there we go. The tank's disabled, but auto turret's thrown down here to tank. And I don't know if that was the right move here. Now Kier's Marines can come in and do some damage of their own. But this is not territory-breaking attacks here.
Yeah.
He is in range of the CC, which means there's a clock on TY. He needs to figure out how to do something to stop this attack, but I guess a Liberator's going to be enough in that sense.
He's really got that air control right now. The attack from Kier not doing what he was really looking for, but it wasn't terrible. Looking at this situation right now, I guess Kier does have his 2-2 started first, which is nice. The Armory only now finishing up for TY so he can continue onwards. But, you know, Kier's caught up mostly in workers. He's got, like, slightly more army supply, but he should, based on what they've been making. TY, again, has gone for a longer-term play with getting more Vikings and more tanks out more quickly.
So we have Kier now moving through the bottom. I don't know if there's any real pushable area here. I don't know if you know, but on this map, can you, from their natural, can you siege up on the other side there and still pelt any significant locations there? I guess you can get the gas, right?
Yeah, you can hit the gas. Yeah. I don't know that you can hit a patch, though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like you might be able to, but it's not a bad idea if you could do that. But
yeah.
It does seem like if the game's fairly even, Terran will eventually just come over there and push you away from that as well. Now, TY is moving out with his 2 medevacs, and this is going to go around the push, the soon-to-be push here from Cure.
Yeah, this is really standard TY. Like, he really likes to just kind of tech up, have a good army, sit most of it home, and then send a couple medevacs out. And then he's looking for damage while you're running around with most of your army. So, doesn't quite lose that medevac there, but is going to try to get some damage done on this third.
Racing towards the third now. He'll take out the sensor tower. There is, it's like 1 medevac, 2 medevacs here with the rest of this army. But immediately TY identifies that, picks up, and is going to look like he wanted to try to go into the main there, but then decides to go ahead and back up, realizing eventually there's not going to be any unpredictable moves in that sequence of trying to attack. So he backs up, and I think that's a smart move. He probably would have lost the medevacs had he gone in any further.
He got trapped, so he's got to get something done still. He drops a few Marines off at the third, drops everything else into the main base. And yeah, I mean, this isn't doing a whole lot right at the moment, but at least he tried to get something done with it.
So we have the 4th about to land over here. I like this push from TY. With the Vikings here, it's very hard to ever hold your ground. Wow, and he takes out 2 of those medevacs. Cheeto dusting the army. Yeah, but he can't push that any further, right? He's going to back up.
Yeah, like he still does have a Raven, but he is down a little bit, right? He's down 2 upgrades on the Marines, and he has far fewer Marines. He has to play a slightly slower, more positional game with his army.
So trying to edge in. We are probably going to have this push come in here at the top, I would imagine. I don't know what's over there to defend, though, at the third base.
That's all right.
Yeah, not bad. Not great, though.
Yeah.
2-2 finishes now. And I think that Kier might be getting into an advantageous position. I mean, he's going to take this out, right? And it seems like the long-term investments are beginning to pay off here for Kier. TY actually loses the CC, which is huge.
Yeah, good move.
Now, the main is almost mined out. We have seen games where you just swap the main command center for the third base there.
Wouldn't be surprised if he does something like that here. So TY down a little bit after that, but going to go ahead and flank this. Marines coming in from both sides, has his Vikings coming up as well to clear back some medevacs.
TY is coming out a little bit behind here, and now Kier's going to push in from the bottom. And if he can siege this up just in range without TY realizing it, that initial few splash shots are going to be huge. However, TY scans, good instinct there.
More command centers being made for Kier. He does have those 4 bases mining, same as TY, but TY lost 1. You can really see the difference in their styles here, Tasteless. 9 medevacs against 4, but there's 9 Vikings on TY's side. Kier is really trying to kind of maintain a bit of map control and keep that pressure on. Because that's how his medevacs are going to get used, right? Is being very mobile, running around, stimming, trying to get favorable engagements.
Oh,
but
wow,
TY, oh, look at that. Just sieged up here. What a hard thing to engage. But look at this. TY actually pushing at the same time.
Wow, and with a planetary behind that, he kills the tanks and loses basically all of the infantry. And we're seeing losses on both sides here. But sieging up into siege mode and chipping away at that, I think we're getting closer and closer to a possible Kier victory if he can keep this up. 3-3 is done. Another real threat here. These tanks are close enough to both hit the CC and any SCVs behind that are repairing.
Oh, I love the Liberators coming out. The Planetary trying to get rid of those Marines.
Not in time.
Yeah, we'll run in with the Marines to make sure that he actually does get to push that back, keeps his Planetary alive. Okay, all is said and done after that. It looks like Cure is going to be up a decent SCV count right now. Similar army supplies. Of course, the upgrade's a bit ahead for Cure as well. TY going to be finishing up that +3 attack, which is the more important one. But the armor helps. If it's just Marine versus Marine, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, we also need to see what angles they're able to engage. And I love this one Liberator here. This is really allowing this push to get closer and closer here. The Liberator, there's nothing the tanks can do.
Yeah.
To stop this. The Marines try to get close, but with 4 siege tanks in range of protecting the ground under the Liberator. Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah,
that
was
save.
a nice move from Cure. You have to deal with those Liberators. If you don't have Vikings, you can't make them yourself, so you have to be able to overrun them.
Oh,
nice pick off. That mobility of Cure really paying off right now.
Cure is now so big. He has so many expansions, and TY is moving with a pretty scary army. I mean, it's hard to deal with, but frankly, Cure just has so much of the map now. I can see Cure continuing to outpace TY.
TY, oh my god, this drop could be gigantic. Only a single missile turret. It actually takes down one of the medevacs before it really unloads.
Yeah. Now the drop's happening in the main. Meanwhile, we can see that TY's going to try to push into this one location, but already the 2 6 o'clock bases are in the ownership of Cure now.
Medevacs mostly being picked off, so this drop won't last forever, but there is a lot of damage being done to his economy. Look at this.
God.
Another attack up here from Cure, going after this planetary now.
He has not managed to push over to that far left base either. I think we're almost to the end here. I think Cure is just crushing.
Yeah,
wow, Cure is so good in this game. It's crazy.
He's a very good StarCraft player. Oh my god. Look at the amount of SCVs that have actually gone down this game for
only
TY.
20 SCVs remaining here for TY.
And that's most of them right there.
Yeah. I think we're going to see TY tap out in a moment here. We're going to have to go to game 2. Cure really investing in more mobility and strength in the long game. TY had some cool openings that gave him some cool windows to try to take advantage of the game, but Cure powered through this game and is coming out on top. And now it's TY with 2 SCVs. Did I say 2? I meant 0. GG.
I thought when you said 2, you might have meant 0.
Yeah, well, just to make it clear for everybody watching.
Yeah, so the first win goes to Cure. I think it was a pretty even game throughout.
Sure.
In fact, I think TY's opener was even better, but the way that Cure was trying to play that was a more mobile style.
Right.
He was very aggressive on the edges and very quickly taking additional expansions. So I think TY felt pressure from that and didn't quite defend as well as he needed. If he defended the first couple pushes a little bit better, the momentum of Cure never gets rolling as hard.
Yeah. Nightshade for game 2. I really enjoyed game 1. That was a fun TVT to cast. That's what I've kind of been waiting for, games like that today. Let's see what Cure can do, though. Again, I said Cure looks better and better every tournament, especially his live tournaments. He's no longer just a player that plays well at home and plays well online. If he wins here, defeating TY would be huge. Let's see if TY can even this out or if Cure moves on to the round of 8.
전투 준비 완료. TY 전태양. 드래곤 피닉스 게이밍 큐어 김도우.
What's that SC doing up there? What's that one doing
So
up there,
he made the barracks first in his main, and then he's going to make the other 2 barracks up there.
That's a sneaky 3X Reaper.
Yeah, so if you scout this, I think you're right. So if you scout this, you see the first barracks, you go, okay. That is if you scout it, but you know.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the barracks at the entrance. You'd say, oh, well, he looks like it's a normal game. We just had one of those. And because of the ordering, the sequencing of the buildings is in a funny setup. I think if you scout, and the idea, of course, when you scout is to confirm what's happening so that you know what kind of game you're in, this would still be misleading.
It is definitely
You know?
misleading. I could definitely see his command center getting canceled this game. I thought that Kier was going to take a more aggressive stance last game with the 2-Rax Reaper,
Yeah.
but with TY never committing a Reaper over, it was going to be very hard. Now with 3 and 2 of them proxied, I think that's a very different story.
Well, this is so cool because, yeah, this sets up well based off what happened in game 1. He went with a much more mild Reaper opening, and it didn't do that much at the start. Now he's doing one of the most, I guess I should say, a much better disguised Reaper build here. Now, hold on. TY's going up. Does he spot this? You know what? It just never fails to amaze me. It's like everybody knows each other's scouting pattern just enough where...
Well, you have to think, you have to put yourself in their shoes. What's reasonable?
Yeah.
Where can you scout to and not feel like a tool, you know?
Yeah.
So you can't scout everything, guys. People seem to think you can scout everything. You can't. Anyone who thinks you can scout everything doesn't actually play StarCraft.
No, it's
just not doable.
It's not it's not like we'll just scout the whole map. It's like, okay, dude.
Let me
you got anything else you want to say?
On that.
Yeah. Can you hold on? I'm going to write this down because you are a sage.
All right, this is a lot of Reapers coming in right now. I believe TY has 2, and yeah, it looks like he has a Hellion about to pop out.
Oh my God!
This is
TY!
bad. All right, already loses one.
Oh my God, diving right into the main here. And then the nades, the sheer number of nades you can toss down here. Oh, the Hellion!
Oh, just barely doesn't get that last shot off.
Which would have been really helpful. And remember these, oh my God, they're gonna be healing. Oh, ow, oh, ow.
Here, what a monster.
Oh my God.
He has done so much. Wow.
I feel like I was watching a child pull the limbs off of a spider back there.
Yeah.
Stop! You're killing it!
Well, TY's lucky that Kier just advanced, because otherwise he would have now fed the limbless spider of TY to stats next.
Yeah, no kidding.
My God. Well played. Good disguising there of his build.
Yeah, it was really smart. And you can see that's one of those builds. It comes right when TY's Reapers are moving out. He catches them. And I mean, things go very fast in those moments. We have an interview now, Andy. Let's go ahead and get this translated. We'll be going to that in a second here with Yuri.
All right, we're going to talk with Cure, who won today's match and moved on to the round of 8. How do you feel? Congratulations. Thank you. A great start to the season, Cure. And now it's your round of 8 in 4 years. How do you feel? I mean, yesterday I was really nervous. I couldn't sleep. I only slept for like 1 hour. And I'm just really happy my games worked out well. And people are saying that your offline matches are actually really good now. So what about that? I mean, in the last Super Tournament, I thought I adapted to the offline stage, but I'm still a little sleep deprived, so I'll have to see. And you definitely have put in a lot of effort to your strategies. And you beat your counter TY today 2-0. And what efforts have you put in to defeat him? I mean, if I just go, if I go conventional against TY, he's too good at late game, so it's really hard for me to beat him. So I went for the strategies that are quite unique in today's trend. And you definitely use the battle wits to acquire your win today. And you use your disguise really good. So is this really good in the current meta? I mean, I lost to Innovation a few times with this build. And in offline stages, the players don't really use it. So I think I might be the first one that uses it. And yes, great strategies and great battle wits. And you acquire your 2-0 win in the TVP matchup as well. So how was the Protoss matchup? I mean, I had a feeling I might win, and stats did play like I expected, and that's why I was able to win. Think about it, you were the one that was picked last in this group. So what do you think about your current position?
워낙 다 커리어가 높아서
I mean, all the other players have really good careers, so I don't really regard myself to be really high compared to others.
네,
But I think I still have a lot to go.
4년 만에
I still have a lot to
8강
do.
진출 정말 좋은 결실을 이뤄냈습니다. 이제 8강의 상대는 A조의 2위 선수 백동준 선수인데요.
And your round of 8
백동준
opponent will be
선수는
Deer, the second place of Group A. So what about Deer?
16강인가 거기서 한번 이겼기 때문에
Well, in Super Tournament, I beat him in the round of 16 once. So in the head-to-head record, I was behind, but now I'm starting to gain some
4년
confidence.
만에 진출하는 8강에서 어떤 모습 보여주실지
So we'll see
기대해보겠습니다.
how you
마지막
play
한마디
in the round of 8
들어볼게요.
against Cure. Anything you want to say before you go?
솔직히 좀 힘든 조라고 생각을 했거든요.
Well, to be frank, I thought this group would be really hard.
센터 하면서
In the group nomination, I tried to pretend I was strong,
치면 안 될 정도로 연습했는데 이겨서
and I practiced really hard, and I'm really happy that my practice bore fruit today. And I'm gonna put on a better performance in the next
네,
game.
다시 한번 1위 진출 축하드립니다.
Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
네,
So
지금까지
that really begs the question, what's a better
만나봤습니다.
performance in the next
계속해서
round if you just went 2-0 against Stats and 2-0 against TY? Is he going to 3-0 Dark in the next round? Like, where do we go from here?
It's kind of crazy to see just how much he bopped today.
Yeah, we've actually had 5 bops and 1 good TVT between TY and Cure. That's basically what it's been. A very strange day so far here.
Yeah, a lot of we're getting to see how certain builds interact with each other and can end games quickly. We're going to go to a short commercial break. We come back to the losers match in Group B of the GSL Code S.
Just